Welcome to the Gump Report. I believe we're in the 60s. I think this is 63 or 64. I don't remember. But we're in the 60s, ladies and gentlemen. If anyone's been liking these Gump Reports, thank you for watching. Because I don't know if anyone likes them. As far as I can tell, people seem to be alright with it. But you never know. Okay, we got a double here. We got the Royal Rumble and my thoughts on Impact. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble first. Now, it has been reported that we've had a problem in the back with WWE Royal Rumble and Shane McMahon. Supposedly, Shane McMahon literally treated the writing team for the Royal Rumble like crap, treated Jeremy Noble like crap, tried to book everything for himself, and he pissed off not just a few people in the back that are regular wrestlers, a lot of people in the back that are regular wrestlers, including Big E, including not Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, but pretty much Big E, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, you name it, the people in the back were pissed about it. So let's cover what we think about this, shall we? What do we got here? We got a situation where it has been building for quite a while. We know since the beginning of the pandemic, 2020, Vince decided to clean house. He believed that he didn't have enough money. I think at one point, this is what I really truly believe. When the pandemic happened and they were forced to be stationary, he was trying to save as much money as possible. And then when he found out how many people he truly had on his roster and started cleaning them out, his profit margins that were here went to here. And the moment he saw that, and the new CEO, the president or CEO, the Nick Khan said, hey, we just let go of these amount of people. Our profits jumped here. We were here. We are here. Let's get rid of more. And that's what they did. They got rid of more people. And they decided to get rid of not only wrestlers, they decided to get rid of people who ran production, makeup artists, you name it, and probably a few executives as well. They got rid of them. Get rid of a lot of people to make extra money, which hurt the product even more than it already was. Now we go into 2021, where they again let go of a huge chunk of people. In 2020, it was nearly 100 or more people. 2022, we now know it's 200 plus, with 2020, which was nearly 100, 2021, which was easily near 100, and 80 to 90, and now 2022, you're hitting 200 people or more, because we still don't know exactly how many more people are going to be released this year. Over 2 years, 2020, 2021, and 2022, we've got more than 200 plus people removed. The roster was not in a good mood. Zelina Vega was fired because she refused to leave Twitch the way it was. She didn't want to stop doing Twitch, and she didn't want to turn her Twitch over to WWE, no matter even if Vince loved her like a little daughter. And she saw him like a supplement father, since her own father died in the World Trade Center. He still said, pretty much, oh, this girl doesn't want to do what I want? Fire ass. And then, near the end of 2021, she decided to come back, and guess what? Her husband was released. So she looks like crap. Then you got Keith Lee, a guy who got COVID, had a heart problem because of it, spent 6 months trying to recover from it, comes back, given a very bad gimmick, and then on top of that, once they see that he just isn't what they like, they release his ass. When many people believed that they needed someone new in the main title scene, and he had his moment before he got sick in 2019, going against Roman Reigns, where he was supposedly a made man, he was released willy-nilly. This has culminated all the way into WrestleMania 2022, where we already had the roster who was already pretty upset on how Vince has been running the company, how he's been not giving them more money next to their guaranteed contracts because they used to have other parts of the wrestling industry they can get more money from. In other words, appearances, they could do cameo, they were able to do Twitch, particularly when they couldn't travel and do live shows where they got extra money next to whatever merchandise they were selling. Twitch was a supplement. Cameo was a supplement. Vince said, oh no, if I'm not getting a cut of that, you're not getting anything. Stopped. So the only thing they got was their own guarantee. That was it, including an Xavier Woods who's still injured at this time, who literally created Up, Up, Down, Down in 2016, 15 or 16. He made literally no money off that channel. He started it, started to build it, handed over to the WWE because he loved them so much and he loved gaming, never made a damn dime, decides to go now to G4 in the beginning of 2022 to be officially really part of G4, and guess what? Ross, one of the hosts there, fucked them up because she wanted to be a attitudey woman because she's trying to say, the previous host, who was a sexy piece of ass, and I'm not as sexy as her, how dare you get upset with me that I'm not screwable, and tries to make this about sexism, which completely has screwed the pooch on G4, which for Xavier Woods, who's been pretty much doing work with them and streaming from them, looks like a damn idiot for being a part of them. This is all part of Royal Rumble, where so much has been going on that eventually, when Royal Rumble was being planned, when you get the regular people who normally do the Royal Rumble asking for extra people, because Shane McMahon has helped out with the Royal Rumble like every year with Jamie Noble. Then you bring in some extra people. I believe the Abyss, Joseph Park, was a part of this group that came in to act, to kind of help write. Because it was like an extra 3 or 4 people. They normally don't ask for them. But this time he asked. This time, Jamie Noble was treated like crap by Shane McMahon because he wanted to be all about him. Not because his father said, I'm going to let him do what he wants. He just did it. He decided he wanted to book himself as the most dominant person there, who we don't see often, screwing up Kevin Owens, screwing up everyone else in that match, booking Bad Bunny along with himself, ending as one of the last 4, and pretty much now has pissed off the wrestlers in the damn back. Now, what does this mean for WWE? Nothing. This means nothing. You know why? The reason I don't do wrestling reviews for WWE anymore, because I used to, as you guys know, I used to do wrestling reviews for SmackDown. I stopped doing Raw maybe around 2016 or 17. I can't remember. It's been a while. I don't even remember. You guys, if you know, you can leave a comment below for anyone else who knows. But let's be honest here. I don't even remember when I last did a Raw review constantly. I think it was around 16, 17. I stopped because I couldn't take the product anymore. And I focused on SmackDown until SmackDown got so bad, I just decided to stop. It was not fun for me anymore. I was getting angry, frustrated. You see wrestlers who deserve better and worse. Not only are you not seeing good wrestlers being treated right, you see the same repetitive matches, the same people in the same positions, and in the end, you get bored with what they produce. You get bored. That's the reason why I only do the pay-per-views. And even now, I'm getting to a point where it's like, not many people watch my pay-per-views. Maybe I should stop doing them as well. I'm thinking about it. Not that I may stop 100% cold turkey of doing anything WWE. If I ever did that, I would still do something if it was interesting to me. But it's like, look at a product. Look at Shane McMahon reaching a point where maybe, and this is what a lot of people are speculating, JD speculated this, he's so tired of the product the way it is. So tired how his father is. He's acting out and trying to literally fuck everything up because he fucked up Royal Rumble. I said Royal Rumble was paint by the numbers when it came to Ronda Rousey winning. Of course, I'm not surprised she won. When it came to Brock Lesnar, of course, I'm not surprised he won. But everything in between Brock Lesnar winning and Ronda Rousey winning, everything in between sucked to a general extent. The only thing didn't suck that badly was pretty much Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, but a lot of people were not happy about the DQ win for Seth Rollins because guess what? Seth DQ'd. It was because Roman fucked it up. He would not stop when the ref told him, so he DQ'd the match and Seth won, but he didn't win the title. Many people would rather see him win the title clean than that happening. Now, I can understand it. Either they would have done a draw, which would have been better, or, which WWE doesn't do draws anymore. The last time I think they did a draw was maybe in the mid-2000s, or in NXT. I don't even remember if they did a draw in NXT because I haven't seen the product in so long. Maybe they did a draw in NXT with a Paul Levesque running it, but the main roster, when was the last time you heard them do a draw where they ran out of time and neither side won? Very rare. Very rare to in between. I don't remember how long it's been. It could be almost a decade. Now, if you know, leave a comment. But this is what it really comes down to. Really. And I kind of agree with JD. Vince does not care anymore. We already know this. But I heard what happened in the back. That a lot of people's interest was so low. They were miserable because there was one person not present. And that same person was not present when it came to working the Royal Rumble booking. Triple H was not involved. Now, from what I understand, Triple H, Paul Levesque, has been involved at some capacity booking WrestleMania for the last 4 or 5 years easily. At least until now. He's always been back there. They call him Papa Paul. They call him that. Or Papa Triple H or Papa Paul. It doesn't really matter. They know that they can talk to Triple H. That Triple H actually cares about them. Now, I'm going to say this. And I'm not saying that I'm a Triple H lover. I already know what Triple H has done in the years that he has worked in the business. He has fucked a lot of people. He's hurt a lot of people. He's gotten people fired. We know this. I'm not saying it because I hate the man. It's that we already know what's been going on. Look what happened to China. China could not use the name that she had acquired from WWE. Laura could not do what she wanted. Laura wanted to use the name that she acquired in WWE to give herself something, but they refused to do it. Now, I'm sure Vince was not going to let her be able to do whatever she wanted anywhere she wanted to go. Steph, who basically took Triple H from her, was not going to let her do whatever she wanted. And when it came to Paul himself, if he had any influence, maybe he might have tried to help a little bit, or maybe he might not. That is very questionable. But, let's be honest. No matter if he could or not, everyone knows that he left her for Stephanie McMahon. Fucked up. Now, mind you, everyone does something wrong. Everyone fucks up their life. I know I've not been great. I know I'm not. I'm a decently good guy, but it doesn't mean I haven't screwed up my life in some form or fashion. That's how it works. So I can say when it comes to Triple H, if he was trying his best when he came up with a way of making things better for wrestlers that are coming into the company and making up to the people that he knew in the business and said, look, I fucked up. Okay? I know I'm not perfect. Come work with me in this developmental and let's make something. That was NXT. Everyone knew when he was working with them, they were getting a fair shake. Every person that has left the company, let's make this clear. I don't care about NXT. As you know, the last time I saw it constantly was maybe in 2015, and that was maybe 3 or 4 or 5 episodes until I noticed how they were being treated in the main roster, and I said, fuck this, I'm going home. I don't want to deal with it. I'm not going to do like everybody else who is basically reviewing NXT saying it's the greatest product that ever existed, and every person on there was a possible main eventer, but going to the main roster, they are fucked. They have to be torn down, rebuilt, torn down again, rebuilt, and even a third to a fourth time before Vince finally says, you know what, I think I'll have some fun with somebody. I may give them an opportunity. Unless you're Charlotte Flair or Roman Reigns, you gotta kill yourself to get somewhere. Or, if you were at the time Triple H's favorite and Vince had to be convinced that this person would work, like a Seth Rollins, like a Sasha Banks. Now, I'm not saying that Sasha was perfect, but at least she and her points were pushed by a Paul Levesque. That's what I believe. But now, Paul's not there anymore, and it's not because he had a heart problem. He had to have surgery because of a genetic disorder in his heart and had to have surgery. It's because Vince got rid of him. We've been hearing reports that he is active on television, that he is working on the new complex that WWE is going to be moving into, because they have the same complex for many, many years, and they're building a new one, and he's been overseeing that along with all the people there. So it's not that he can't work, that he can't go anywhere or travel. He is. Vince does not want him to be there. He made that choice, and this Royal Rumble reflected it. Triple H had some influence in how the previous Royal Rumbles were, and they were pretty good to a certain extent. They weren't all perfect. This Royal Rumble was a mess. It was a piece of shit. And even though it was by the numbers, like I said, I knew Brock Lesnar was going to win. I knew Ronda Rousey was going to win. I knew Roman Reigns was going to keep his title. Pretty much we knew this was going to happen. But the show sucked. Flat out. So now, there's chaos in WWE because of what Shane has done. Either because he just doesn't give a fuck anymore, because Triple H's not there, he can act any way he wants, because there's a possibility Triple H kept him in line, because there's no way that Shane is 100% a great guy. We know he could be a dick like everybody else in the wrestling industry. There's some that are perfectly wonderful, that don't treat people like crap, and there's some that are dicks, and Shane could be one of them. Or, next to Triple H not being there, and that might have pissed him off to the point where, you know what? Triple H is not here. Vince is treating everybody like crap. Fuck this shit. I'm going to act any way I'm going to fucking want and make Vince suffer for it. Because remember, he's blamed his son multiple times for things going wrong in the industry. He's done it. So, this is what you got. We got chaos in WWE. The question is, how bad is it going to be for WrestleMania? I don't know. Don't ask me to predict anything, because since I don't watch the product, other than maybe some highlights once in a while, I don't know. So that's what you get for the chaos in WWE. Now, this is another thing I have to cover, because I need to talk about this, because one of my subscribers left comments about what's going on with Impact Wrestling, and it stems directly from what happened in Royal Rumble. Really? I am going to chew your asses out. If anyone believes Impact is doing well, I'm going to fucking chew your asses out. With respect. Because I want you to learn something. Now, before I say anything that may trigger somebody or say, you really hate Impact, why are you doing reviews? Let me explain. I've been watching Impact. I still love Impact. A lot of people on there are great wrestlers. Great talent. Even with the writing being as crappy on and off as it's been hot, it's been cold, it's been annoying, it's been a problem, I still love Impact. But as a honest reviewer, I gotta tell you the truth on how it's being run. It's not about just how the booking goes, it's about how it's being run. And if you don't want to hear that, turn off the show. Either Impact Wrestling or me. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to show off and say, fuck you, I can do whatever I want. No, I'm just saying if you don't agree with me, find someone you do agree with, because you deserve to be agreed with. If you don't like somebody, you shouldn't keep watching them and just go, I can't stand this guy. Watch something you're going to like. Watch someone you'll like. Watch anything that's going to make you feel good. And if you believe Impact is perfect as it is, more power to you. But as a honest reviewer, I got to tell you the truth. And this is the truth. Impact sucks when it comes to management. Now, if you don't know how Impact's history is when it used to be TNA, or as it was at one point, TNA NWA. Remember, it used to be affiliated with NWA. It was TNA, then it joined NWA. It was TNA, NWA, then it went TNA, and now it went Impact Wrestling. Because Impact was originally the Impact Zone. That was their main show for TNA. It changed its name over to that because they didn't want to use TNA anymore. Now, we got this. We know Jeff Jarrett and his dad started TNA. We know that Jeff could no longer afford it by himself. He went to Dixie Carter and the Carter family, where eventually Dixie bailed out because it wasn't being profitable enough. And basically after they lost their contract with Spike, they traveled around Destination America. Then they went to Anthem, and now they ended up on Access TV. We now know this. If I'm missing anything in between, I'm sorry. But I'm going by what I can remember. Now, let's make this clear. Going to the Royal Rumble. Many people believe the Forbidden Door was opened. Many people believe, oh, I'm hitting my camera. I got this on a stilt and it's wiggling. So, many people believe that the moment Mickie James was announced, that this is going to be incredible, that Impact is going to get something great, that Impact is about to explode, or at least going to get a great huge jump in ratings, that everything was going to be wonderful. And I kept telling people, and JD, as well as just Alex, was going to tell people, no, there isn't going to be no Forbidden Door, but nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody wanted to say, hey, maybe you might be right. No, everyone kept saying, let's be positive. And we know how WWE will function. They will only do it as long as they get an advantage. Vince didn't do this for a long time working with another promotion. The last time he did it was in the late 90s with ECW before they went bankrupt. Let me say that again. Before ECW became bankrupt, he let them show up on their show, Raw. He did some work with them, and then they went their way. ECW did not get as much of a boost as many people think it did. It got a boost, but not as big as many people think it did. WWE got a huge boost when it came to the ratings because they were still fighting against WCW before they finally tanked and he bought them. Remember, Vince bought Turner's baby WCW. He bought it. So, what are we dealing with here? Right now, as it stands, I got a comment from one of my, I don't know if they're a subscriber, but someone left a comment saying, hey, things are going great. Look, on YouTube, they let Mickie James say she's the knockout champion. They said, I saw it, and she was allowed to say whatever she wanted. And look at the channel. It's got 1.2 million views on it. Really? Is that Impact Wrestling's YouTube channel? Or is it the WWE's YouTube channel? I said it again. 1.2 million views on YouTube. Is it for Impact? Or is it WWE? As I said, they only allow something to happen as long as they get an advantage. Hearing that she was allowed to say, I am the Knockouts champion, I had the opportunity. I did see it. At the time, it was 900,000 when I got a chance to see it. It was now 1.2 at the time. But she got a chance to say her piece, saying she's glad to come back and that she had a chance to deal with other women because she didn't get a chance before she left months ago, because she was left months ago. In the end, she got a chance to say what she wanted and she got to pay out. She got paid. She didn't go there for free, baby. She did not. So she got recognition for herself. Now, mind you, there's nothing wrong with that. She had the right to do it. But does this help Impact? We have to see. Hearing people say, oh, the ratings for Impact went up. Really? What have I told you guys for years about Impact Wrestling? On a good day, if there's no problem with lighting, no problem with storylines, no problem, not great day, a good day, standard day, they can get between what? 150 to 200,000. They have done it more than a few times, between 150 to 2,000. Now lately, their numbers have been tanking. The lowest they had was 79,000. Now the highest they've gone so far is 124, 126, 110,000. So this subscriber was saying, hey, your numbers are great. You see that things are going up. Really? I checked to see what the numbers were for the 27th because I saw on the 20th and the 13th. The 13th had numbers of 111,000. They went up by 117. So they went up by, 110,000, and they went up by 7,000. That was on the 13th. Then on the 20th, they went to, what was it again? I believe they went to 100 and, I'm trying to remember, 130,000. I could be wrong. I can't remember that number for the 20th. So it went only up by a small amount. Not much different than the week before. This week that happened, with Mickey James talking about going to Royal Rumble, their numbers went up to 182,000. And their normal numbers was 126. That's it. They had 126,000 the week before. That was the 20th. 126,000. I can't remember what it was they went up by. I think they went up by 10,000 or 15,000. Yeah, I think 15,000. Yes, they went to 110,000. That was January 13th. Then the 20th, they went up to 126. So they had an increase. So this time, they went to 182 from what was happening the week before, and that was 56,000. And he said the numbers went great. They went up. No. I'll say it again. No, they didn't. As I said again, on a decently normal day, on a good day, not a great day, not a spectacular day, they can do between 150 to 200,000 when things were working properly. Lately, their numbers have tanked. The lowest, as said, was 79,000. Before the 13th of January, their numbers was 110,000 on the 13th. Before that, it was below that. It was under 90. Remember what I said. From the 13th, it went up to 110,000. They went up from 110. Wait a minute, sorry. The time before that was 110. They went up by 7,000. The 20th, they went from 117 to 126. So they went up again, 9,000. And in this case, they went from 126 to 182. So they gained 56,000. What is that? If they gain 300,000 or more, not counting pay-per-views, 300,000 or more, they have made gains. Here, this is an average number for them. And anyone who thinks Impact is making gains, you should wait and see. Because this is before Royal Rumble. Let's make this clear. Let's not get this twisted. This was before Royal Rumble. This is what pisses me off. That people are going to see this and they're going to think, oh, I don't want to see Impact succeed. I do. I want to see Impact succeed. I want to see it grow. But I know the major problem with it. It is mismanagement. Many of the people who came from the Jeff Jarrett era are still there. At least one or two people. Many people that came from the Dixie Carter era are still there. The Anthem era, the people that might be still left over from Dixie and Jeff Jarrett, they're still there. It wasn't like Anthem told them to get rid of everyone and hire new people. They kept the majority of people from the Dixie Carter era and whatever few that was already carried over from the Jeff Jarrett and his dad's era. They're still dealing with people with mismanagement. And if you honestly think And the subscriber said they don't have the same reach as anyone else. Anthem dealing with excuse me, Anthem dealing with Access TV. They can't have the same reach like AEW. You know what? I said the same thing. And true, that's right. But, and this is where there's the caveat, but when it comes to them working with other promotions, like AEW, bullshit. They went into a damn situation whether, and I do believe this, they had only got Kenny. Only Kenny. Repeat it again. Only Kenny mattered. They focused completely on Kenny. Now that's a smart thing to do, but taking away from when Christopher Daniels was there, Kazarian was there, and Christian Cage, not counting when Matt Hardy came in with Private Party, those were the only ones that were ever seen between both shows. And I don't count the Good Brothers. I don't. I'll never count the Good Brothers. When it comes down to it, we had only one person who was a wrestler, not counting Father Mitchell, who is the Sinister Minister on NWA TV right now. Moose, with that special match, was the only Impact wrestler to appear on AEW. The only one. The only one. So they went into a situation where they asked for people to come over, but never got anyone back. In other words, Kenny, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, Matt Hardy, along with Private Party, along with Kenny Omega, were only allowed to go back and forth. And they agreed to it. Or, and many people say it's unfair what AEW did. What happens if Impact Wrestling made this decision? Remember, guys, Impact Wrestling, this isn't the first time they've done this. They've worked with Dragon Gate. They worked with AAA. That is Conan's promotion. They worked with New Japan Pro Wrestling more than once. They worked with Pro Wrestling Noah. I can at least say with Pro Wrestling Noah, they showed footage of their own people showing up there and actually showing the matches. At least I can say we got to see it over in Pro Wrestling Noah. A little snippet, not very long, not pay-per-view, because I know someone's going to say, hey, you're not doing pay-per-views with Pro Wrestling Noah. It's not about Pro Wrestling Noah and pay-per-views. It's regular television for Japan and America. So, they have done contracts with people. They even done a few pay-per-views with people. Like, what was it? BCW had one. And I believe they might have done something once with Dragon Gate. I could be wrong. It's been quite a long time. I don't remember. But they have done promotional... Well, I don't want to be so angry. Guys, Impact Wrestling over 8 years have worked with nearly maybe 8 or 9 promotions. Counting now, let's say 12 promotions now. They've worked with Dragon Gate. They have worked with House of Glory, Hog. They have worked with AAA. They worked with BCW. They have worked with AAA. I hope I didn't say it twice. They have now worked with, along with that, Crash Wrestling. They work with House of Hardcore. Now they work with AEW. They work with New Japan Pro Wrestling again. And now they've done something with WWE where they let one of their own wrestlers who held a title. And even if Mickie Jane does not have a contract with them, because she could be working with no contract. They just trust her to hold a title, they pay her, and then she can do what the hell she wants. Nearly a dozen promotions over a 6 to 8 year period they have worked with. And what have they gained? Nothing. Nothing. Now, mind you, as I said to my, well, maybe he's a subscriber, in the comments to that person, I truly still hope this does give Impact Wrestling something. I hope it does. I'm begging they'll gain something. But with mismanagement, I don't see it. Now, they could be putting on the best matches and have the best women's division anywhere. In other words, knockouts, because as I said before, they weren't going to 100% say it at Royal Rumble. They did let her come out with the title. That's Mickie James. And she was number 20. She lasted 6 minutes. 6. She was allowed to come out with her title. She was allowed to come out to the hardcore country music. But I heard them say, here comes the Impact Women's Champion, not the Impact Knockouts Champion. They could have said that. They refused. And seeing that they're willing to say it in a backstage segment that has 1.2 million views at that time, which was 2 or 3 days ago, it could be higher than that, does not mean it translates to Impact Wrestling. And if anyone says that, you're more silly than you look. I don't mean to be so rude, but let's be honest here. We don't see anything new yet. Now, if the numbers go beyond 180,000, going into 300,000, because like I said, and I repeat it again, on a good day for Impact, they can go between 200 and 150. They used to. They went between 150 to 200. They used to do it. Now, the highest number they ever got was 182, and everyone is so happy about it. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. Look at Rampage. Rampage isn't heavily promoted by Dynamite all the time. It is, but it's not super great with all the stuff on it. It's not about them being on Turner's channel. They're in a dead time slot. They're at 10 o'clock. Guys, Impact is in prime time at 8. And yes, they don't have the same reach as TNT, but they're in a prime time slot, and AEW's Rampage is on a dead time slot, and they get between 400,000 to 500,000 people, even 6. If I remember correctly, for the 20th, 21st, they got almost 600,000 people watching it. It's a 1-hour show on a dead time slot. And yes, again, the guy who spoke isn't 100% wrong. Access TV doesn't have the same reach, and I've even said it myself. But let's be honest here. And even if they don't have the same reach as TBS, TNT, USA, and Fox, you still got 40 to 50 freaking million people on a damn network, and the most you can pull is 100,000? Please. I'm sorry. They had the opportunity working with AEW, and they should have shoved and pushed and clawed to get their own people on there other than Moose. Now, if AEW did it, that's on them, fine. But if I'm right, and it was mutual decided, it wasn't just that Tony Khan wasn't willing to let anybody just show up on there. Please, that's bullshit. Look at Selena Deep. She was working with NWA. No, that's bullshit. You could have had Moose on the show. You could have had Moose. They could have pushed for Moose to go on there. Or they could have pushed for anyone. They could have pushed for Rick Swann to go on there. The X Division champion. Anyone you wanted, they could have pushed to get them on there. I bet you they didn't shove that hard. In fact, they were more than happy to just get anything. And they're going, yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Don't buy it. But it's just me, and I hope you enjoyed this Gump Report. Please give me a comment below. This should be released Thursday or Friday. Oh, I have a feeling people are going to say, oh, dude, you are so dumb. Or better yet, stop watching Impact. Why? I didn't say I didn't love it. I do. I care about it more than WWE. In fact, I'm ready to consider stop doing the pay-per-views because I'm getting tired of seeing the same garbage. But it's just me. Peace.